What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me, but I just got home off of an early morning flight, right? First thing through the door, I want to see my family. I love my family. You know, I'm a family man. I'm an advocate for families, right? Second thing, I got to get that hot shower because I got to throw the threads on. The threads make me feel like $1,000,000, but the third thing through my mind and all throughout the trip is that I gotta have that Tej pack. Tej makes my life uncomplicated. It's uncomplicated skincare for men. The first way that I started specifically was their level 1 system. It's a daily face wash to get rid of the dirt and grime on your skin. 2 times per week exfoliating scrub to get rid of the dead skin cells. An AM moisturizer with SPF 20 because you should always be protecting your skin from the sun, and a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night. Here's the thing. My favorite part about Tej Henley is that every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. They really making the process of achieving and maintaining amazing skin for men uncomplicated. In addition to amazing skin, members of Tej Henley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off the retail price, the ability to customize your box, exclusive monthly deals, you can pause and cancel at any time, and you get free shipping. And because Tej Henley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers an amazing deal, right? Just click the first link in the description and you get 30% off your first box, plus a free gift. It's an amazing deal. You got to get started today. You're not out here trying to look like a dusty. And if you travel as much as I do, which I'm sure most people don't, but you know me, I'm pushing my bag chasers in order to be in the top 5%, top 10%, top 1%. We got to make our lives uncomplicated, and Tej Henley is no better product. You got to look good. You got to smell good. And you can't be looking like a dusty. Make sure you get started today. Click the link in the description. Get that Tej pack. Feel the Tej, my friends. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Welcome to the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. What's going on, friends and family in the chat? Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, welcome to the greatest show on earth. We had a little bit of a disruption yesterday, but that's okay. We're going to work. Because I think that we're going to have a better show today than we had yesterday. What y'all think? What's going on, chat? What's happening, Mary? Mary Alazzo, knowledge engineer, NBA hustler, Azariel, Kojak, Jeremy H., Christopher Thomas, Michael L. Smith, Ali. Everybody is in the building. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's up, friends and family? What's going on? Are y'all ready for one of the best shows on earth? As usual, like it always is, like we always do around this time. Are y'all ready for one of the best shows on earth? Yo. What up, what up, what up? Van Rule, Eileen, C. Jones, Big Suggs, Jimmy James over there in Germany. What's up, Kingdom Legacy? GBG Bear said Time to Dine is in the building. Shayla, what's up, Shayla? Sonata Sperling. Shayla's my baby. I'm about to call Shayla in a minute. Therese, Organic Lifer, Hennafit. What up? What up, friends and family? Are y'all ready to get cooking today? Average Bro is my first super chat of the day. I don't ask y'all to donate, but y'all do so because y'all see the value in what it is that we doing right here. What up, Urban Renaissance Man said it's been 2 months. It's been too long. It's been too long. Shout out to the Average Bro in the building with the 5-ball early in the morning. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, friends and family? Y'all want to go ahead and get the housekeeping out of the way so we can get cooking? I agree. Make sure that y'all get that Tej pack. I'm shooting a new Tej commercial that I'm releasing next week. 30% off your first order plus a free gift if you're not a part of the Bag Chasers, because we're doing a Patreon meetup next week in New York, and I am going to post the exact location and give you an update so you guys can be able to tap in and link up with me, because the last New York trip, we was out of there. It was lit. Last year when I tapped in New York, y'all said, what up? We in the Don't Do Coke in the Bathroom studios. What up, what up, what up, what up, friends? I appreciate y'all for continuing to rock with me. What up, Ollie? Is it Al? Ian is in the building. Raymond Jordan, what up, though? Hey, make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. If y'all not a part of the Bag Chasers, then I'm not even really messing with you today. If y'all not part of the Bag Chasers, Santidra Jackson is in the building. Your name ain't that hard, Santidra. Beverly Williams, what's up? Y'all want to go ahead and get cooking? Because I don't know what's going to happen. Yesterday, they said they just went ahead and hit the on me yesterday. And so we might as well go ahead and get popping early in the building. We already got the housekeeping out of the way. I know y'all going to get y'all Teach Hanley. I know y'all part of the Bag Chasers. I'm going to be reading super chats throughout the show. Let's go ahead and get started right away. So listen. I have to bring myself to the front of the congregation. Anwar, hit me up tonight. Anwar, hit me up tonight. I got to land in Miami. My plane lands sometime at around 9 p.m. tonight. So hit me up somewhere around 10 o'clock. Oh. Before we get started with the show, let me tell y'all. I am dropping a video tonight at roughly 9:15. All right? 9:15 tonight, Eastern Standard Time. Maybe I'll drop it at 9:30. Let's just make it a smooth 9:30. All right? 9:30, I'm dropping a video tonight, and it's going to be different. It's going to be on the Anton Daniels channel, okay? So the video is going to be me being my most vulnerable. It's a new format that I'm releasing to you guys, and it's going to be a completely new format for what it is that we're doing over here on the Anton Daniels channel. You know, I'm always tinkering. I was in the studio from like 5 a.m. yesterday till 1:30 a.m. the next day, and then I got up and I'm right back in the studio and we cooking up. All right, so it's gonna be a really, really vulnerable moment, and it actually, I'll give you a little bit of a hint. So I'm going through, and you know I'm the type of person that likes to be absolutely transparent, and because of my transparency, it's a gift and a curse, right? Because it's the thing that people lean into in order to say, well, I don't necessarily like Anton, or this is what's wrong with him, or this is why he's so flawed. But me personally, I believe that my flaws allow for me to give you as much information as possible, and me being an open book helps you. So I go into a little bit of the dark days and a dark past of certain stories that you guys have never heard of, and part of it is when my first sexual experience, me losing my virginity when I was 11 years old. I detail that, how I got into having relationships with women that were significantly older than me when I was in elementary school, middle school. I dive into the disappointment, being raised in a church, turning rebellious. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And I literally had to push through actually going through and doing this recording from people that were around me and stuff like that, because a lot of them was saying, Anton, you should do it. And I was saying, nah, I don't think I'm interested in sharing those details of my life at this point. So it's more layers to be peeled back, and it's more transparency that I want to share with you guys as to how it is that I came to be who I am that's sitting before you today, and why I think the way that I think. And it's a lot of different pieces that we're going to put together in that puzzle. And so you definitely want to check out that video tonight. I'm definitely going to be premiering that. I'm dropping that for you guys. And I don't think that it's anything that should be off the table as far as the transparency that I share with you guys, because I think that we're all more closely connected than we're not, right? And more people actually can share and understand that story as a result of rocking out with it and hearing it from my mouth, because I don't believe in having secrets. I don't have no skeletons in my closet. I live my life like an open book. And so what you see is just what you get. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sharing that story tonight. It is very, very interesting. I recorded it last night. So that was while I was in the studio last night so late. And then my editor has got it, and he's working on it, and he's taking care of it to make sure that it's all put together as far as the audio and stuff like that. And then I'm going to drop it for you guys tonight. So if you have not already, make sure you subscribe to both this channel and the other channel. Make sure you get the likes up for the YouTube algorithm. And we're going to be rocking out. So shout out to y'all. Boy Timmy is in the building with the 70 ball. Hold on. Shout out to y'all. Boy Timmy in the building says, thanks again for the amazing coaching call yesterday, OG. Can't wait for the next one. Bag chaser for life. I also sent you a message on Patreon asking what budgeting software you recommend that I use. So if y'all not a part of the bag chasers, if y'all not a part of the Patreon, you really need to tap into that. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. We doing some amazing things, and hopefully I'm adding as much value into you guys as you do into me as far as being a part of this audience and this conversation that we having on a daily basis. All right. So again, get that Teach Hanley. Check out the video tonight. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit a like for the YouTube algorithm. And then join the Patreon. And shout out to y'all boy Timmy with the early super chat and making sure that he put a little bit in the collection plate. I'm going to be reading super chats throughout the show. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the show, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, I was wrong. I was wrong. Anton, how were you wrong? Well, I was wrong because we did a little bit of a game. And the game was, how can we stereotype our way and use our Blues Clues in order to identify, shout out to Spaces, I'm definitely going to be reading that super chat shortly, in order to identify who are the ones that are committing these crimes and these egregious things, especially within our communities, that's just now really starting to get highlighted. We know Biden came out recently and he said, hey, listen, guys, we need to make sure that we get the guns out of the hands of the criminals, and we're going to place more of a focus on making our communities safer from these mass shootings. Now, Missy, I was like half wrong. I wasn't fully wrong, Missy. I was half wrong, right? And I put on my Mindhunters hat, my FBI profiling cap, because I do believe in stereotyping, and stereotypes are real. It's the thing that keeps you safe, right? When you walking down the street and you see a bunch of guys that's smoking weed in hoodies, you're not automatically going to assume that they're going to offer you a puff. You're going to assume that they're going to fill on your booty when you walk past, right? And so you might want to pause for a minute, fight or flight, walk across the street, act like you don't see them. We don't know. But we have to stereotype in order to, and the FBI do it. So if the FBI profile in order to be able to catch serial killers, why shouldn't I be able to prototype in order to understand the level of danger that I need to make sure that I'm preventing myself from getting into, right? And so we went through and we said, well, what the fuck is happening in Baltimore, right? And we looked at it and we said, well, I see all of the red cups. I see the Nissan Altimas in the parking lot. I see cigarette butts and Swisher Sweets. I see the end of the blunts on the ground. And I also see a blonde wig over there from a woman running, and she didn't want to go back and grab her wig. My context clues led me to believe the suspects was possibly young black men that turned their hand this way when they were shooting, because they missed everything. They did get a couple people, rest in peace to them, but then they shot 28 more, and it was just some random shit. So my context clues said it's probably two black men that were riding in a Dodge Charger, and they had Dodge Charger and a window shield in the back with tinted windows and neon. When we started assessing what was happening over in Fort Worth, the first thing that they y'all don't know how hard it is for me to keep a straight face when I'm having this conversation with y'all, and I'm trying to have this show. Let me do my show, right? When we were assessing what was happening in Fort Worth, and they showed the name of the spot, and it was like City Clubs with a Z instead of an S at the end of it. My context clues led me to believe that it's a possible fight that broke out between two black women, and one of them might have snatched the eyelashes off of the other one, and it went left, right? And so Philly perplexed me. Philly perplexed me because I said, wait the fuck a minute. Southwest Philly, predominantly black neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Dude running around, but he had all of the makings of a white man. But I was like, it gotta be a black man. But then it was like, yo, he well prepared. He got a vest on. He had an extra pistol, and he had a assault rifle and all of that. And then they took him in custody without actually taking him out. And I said, oh, no way that this is not some serial killer, mass white man that's out here mad at the world, probably wearing heels. No way it's anything but that. That level of preparation, and he had a police scanner, Jason, I agree. And he had a police scanner. Well, I could not have ever been any more wrong. I'm not even sure I can identify this as a black man. They said it was a 40-year-old man. And have y'all noticed that as we navigate through these spaces that they're so afraid to identify people for who they are? The police don't even know who they going to chase. It's a 40-year-old man walking around. Is he black? Is he white? Oh, man, y'all want to play racial politics when people is out here losing their lives? This is them, right? I'm more likely to get in trouble for not using the correct pronouns of this 40-year-old person without first getting their pronouns that they want to be identified as. She, her, zim, him, bim, dim. Dumb, da-da-dum-dum. And so what you're looking at the bottom of my screen right now is the culprit. Yes. This is what you think it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a hoax. This is not a mistake. We got a lot to cover today. We got to go over Kiki Palmer, right? We got to bring Tez, who Vivek went and massacred on the Millionaire Morning Show. We know that ain't the Millionaire Morning Show. The Breakfast Club. We gonna better understand who this person is, right? We want to talk to our truckers today. We didn't get a chance to kick it with our ladies in the truck yesterday. And so I could not have been any more wrong. I was wrong. I apologize. Let the news tell it. Make sure y'all hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. I'm going to be reading super chats throughout the show. And shout out to Mike, that dude, for the early cash app. Let's get to it, ladies and gentlemen.
Tuesday night, I'm Shari Williams. Gray Hall is off tonight. The big story on Action News is the latest development on the mass shooting in Philadelphia's King Sessing neighborhood. As the investigation into this senseless tragedy continues, we are beginning to learn more about those who were killed. Action News reporter Bob Brooks live for us now at police headquarters with what we know this evening. Bob.
Shari, 5 killed. They were all males, and they had friends, family. I can tell you, people who love them dearly. And tonight we spoke with the mother of a victim. She wants no time to be wasted in getting justice from this killer. These are the names of the 5 victims. They range in ages from 15 to 59, all males.
Let's stop there. Range in age from 15 through 59. Can we get a moment of silence for DeJuan Brown, age 15, Lashad Merritt, 22, Ralph Morales, 59, Demir Stanton, 29, and Joseph Wama Jr., age 31, who all senselessly passed as a result of whomever it is, this 40-year-old man, however they want to be identified at the bottom of my screen. Can we all get a moment of silence? Can we get a moment of silence? All right. Let's continue.
One of them is 22-year-old Lashad Merritt. We spoke with his mother, Marie, today, who says he was her baby, the youngest of 5.
The youngest, the brightest. He was good. He was a good kid. He was. And I'm going to miss him so much.
Sources tell Action News.
Let's stop right there. Let's stop right there. According to the news, this young man right here, you know what's so funny? Let me tell y'all. Let me share something with y'all really quickly. I posted on Instagram, which I am on that new Twitter thread, not Twitter threads, threads from Instagram. So I'm experimenting with that. I'm on Instagram and I dropped a video. And actually, I didn't drop a video. I did a live stream with Revolt TV, a Revolt, whatever that section was. I got another one coming up soon. And I was debating with a guy, and they asked me a question, and they asked me directly. They said, Anton, if you are swinging the other way, to keep it G, they said, if you swinging the other way, is that masculine? And I said, absolutely, positively not. It is not masculine. It should not be considered masculine. And there's nothing masculine about operating outside of your purpose as a man and letting another man rub up and down your booty, your booty. I'm telling you, my first reaction, if I see a man that is even coming close to my derriere, we gonna have problems. It's gonna be some furniture moving up in that bitch. Real talk. And then I went through in the comments, and you know what the comments said? Let me even see if I can pull that up. I went through in the comments, and the comments, wildly enough, was holding me accountable. And they were saying that, how is it not masculine when the man can actually inflict pain on you? That man can fight just like you. He'll probably kick your ass. And does that exhibit a level of masculinity? I seen a woman throw some hot water on a nigga before and scald his face. That's just as egregious. Everybody carrying pistols, so if a dude can knuckle up and he got a cock between his legs, that's still operating like masculinity, right? Right? And all of the people in the comments, oh my God, they were so mad. Oh my God, Anton, I can't believe that you're out here saying that it's not masculine. He's a grown man. He should be able to do what they want to do. It doesn't matter how many people that is filling on your booty. It does not matter. Masculinity does not take frame, shape, size, or gender. They felt some type of way about it. I mean, they felt some type of way about it. They were on my head, boy. But now you got this 40-year-old gentleman right here who was out here absolutely, positively washing all of our young men. See, this is one of the reasons why y'all got to sit here and you're going to say, oh, okay. Ain't no more good black men because y'all killed him at fucking 15 years old. You had another man running around shooting other men at 15 years old. And this is one of the reasons why it ain't no good black men for your daughters to be able to marry when they get older, because all of them was running around with their booty out or letting somebody else fill on their booty. And they identified as something different. And then instead of you listening to me, you wanted to listen to them because you got mad at me for what it is that I said. This is what I said. Oh, let me pull it up. Because I don't want y'all to get it confused. I want y'all to actually see what I said. And instead of assuming that I said it, I'm going to go ahead and share it with you so that you actually understand exactly what was communicated. Don't worry. We're going to come back to Kimbrady Carriker. Kimbrady Carriker. For the love of God, Jesus, Lord, be offense. Protect our young people, Lord. So this was the post. And I'm going to play it for you really quickly. Let me make sure that we got the audio on because I don't want y'all to miss it. This is just a clip. They clipped it up, and this is what was happening.
Gay and masculine.
No, absolutely not. Not at all. It completely removes what's masculine about you, your ability to really be able to embrace
who you are as a man is largely defined by your genitalia or who it is that you sleep with. It also enables women to then say that they're boss bees, right? They then start to take on a more masculine role within a household.
So a woman can be masculine, but a gay man cannot be masculine.
And so this was the guy that I was debating on Revolt, right? This was the guy. That was the guy that I was debating on
Someone can be gay and masculine.
Okay. So I'm debating him, and he's trying to convince me that it makes sense for you to operate in your femininity and you can still be considered masculine. This is the man. And he was, and let me show you, because I did comment on it. Let me show you. Listen, this is what they saying inside of the comments, okay? I don't want y'all to be confused. I want y'all to see exactly what's being communicated inside of the comments, right? Jessica Wickamars says this to Anton: I'm so tired of black media outlets starting conversations they know will lead to homophobic dialogue. Cool. Mama C. Stellar says, this stuck with me. Pressure is made for shoulders, not hips. I'm pretty certain there's more pressure laying on the hips of women who birthed y'all than any set of shoulders. The life has been given, violated, and trafficked from the hips of women. That's nerve. That's an ignorant and disrespectful statement. What's more masculine than dominating another man? These are the people that's telling y'all. Listen, I can't make it up. I'm reading it to you. You know I'm not lying to you. I'm telling you exactly what's being communicated right here. Am I the only one seeing the total ridiculousness, still assigning masculine and feminine roles like we're not in the 21st century? Being a single mom does not make you masculine just because you have the head of your household. Being a gay man doesn't make you feminine just because you have sex with another man. And can we stop with making homosexuality only about sex as it's been heterosexual only about come on, man. These are the people, and they're getting all of the likes, all of the support, all of the rah-rahs. And so when you finally get a person like me, shout out to you, Moise, I'm going to be reading that super chat shortly. When you finally get a person like me that stands up for something, and I said, listen, we out of our purpose. This is where it is. Let me show you. I'll read to you exactly what I said. Let me go up. I said, I stand on what I said. We completely out of order. The fact that people are advocating for this trash culture we're devolving into shows the environment our children will suffer in. I stand on what I said. I don't give a fuck about what y'all think. I don't care nothing about Black Twitter. You think I care about a single baby mama sitting here holding me accountable and telling me what masculinity is as though they know what it means to be a man? Yesterday I worked for 24 hours straight. I was up from 5 a.m. I was in the office from 5 a.m. and I went to bed at 4 a.m., which means I got up at 4 a.m. the day before. You don't know shit about what it takes in order to be able to build a legacy and do great things and then put your woman in a position where she ain't got to work and grind and all of that other type of shit. This is the stuff that we have in a conversation. Oh man, the next Revolt video, maybe I should do a whole review of the Revolt video and the debate that I did. I'll bring that up on another day, another platform. But my point is that how are y'all going to sit here and tell us what masculinity looks like and you have no clue whatsoever on what it is that men are going through? And so because I stand on what I stand on, I now have become the enemy, even though I am the person that is right. There is no your truth. There is no my truth. It's just the truth. I don't move off that shit. And so now this is what you get. Shout out to Philly. Let's go back into what it is that we was talking about.
Tuesday night, I'm Shari Williams. Gray Hall is off tonight. The big story on Action News is the latest development on the mass shooting in Philadelphia's King Sessing neighborhood. As the investigation into this senseless tragedy continues, we are beginning to learn more about those who were killed. Action News reporter Bob Brooks live for us now at police headquarters with what we know this evening. Bob.
Shari, 5 killed. They were all males, and they had friends, family, I can tell you, people who loved them dearly. And tonight we spoke with the mother of a victim. She wants no time to be wasted in getting justice from this killer. These are the names of the 5 victims. They range in ages from 15 to 59, all males. One of them is 22-year-old Lashad Merritt. We spoke with his mother, Marie, today, who says he was her baby.
I'm reading that super chat shortly. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate you. I'm going to be reading all super chats right after this. We got a show to do today.
Youngest of 5.
The youngest, the brightest, he was good. He was a good kid. He was. And I'm going to miss him so much.
Sources tell Action News the alleged killer is 40-year-old Kimbrady Carriker.
Look at that, y'all. Kimbrady Carriker. I don't even believe, if you were to convince me, according to the news, this is Kimbrady Carriker, the 40-year-old person that killed 5 boys and men. You're not going to convince me that that's the birth name that this person was given. You're not going to convince me of it at all. You're not going to convince me at all. This is the person that is being accused of being responsible for what is happening to your boys out here in these streets. I would not have guessed it, because my automatic thought process is not to automatically assume that this is the person, this is the culprit. You never was going to convince me. You never was going to convince me that it could have been this person. I don't see nobody sitting here and having a conversation about who it is that's committing this egregious crime. Now, had it been somebody else, they would, if it would have been a white man, throw him under the jail. If that had just been a regular black male, yo, we need to throw the culture away. But for some reason, we have not been able to identify and properly address this. You know why? Because we're so scared of telling the truth. We're so scared of calling a spade a spade. You know, this type of person will get more support from the community because they would say that this is a mental health issue rather than this just being a straight up massacre. And then you're going to be looked at as funny for not identifying it properly. And then they're probably going to get all of the good resources and good health. And you know what the worst part about this is that Kimbrady Carriker, Mr. Carriker, is going to get 3 hots and a cot, and your tax dollars are going to pay for this person to continue to live the rest of their life out in peace, tranquility, sleeping good at night, getting 8 hours of sleep while we out here grinding, building America, and making sure that we add as much value into society as we possibly can. Because our goal is to leave the earth in a better space had we not been here. And this person is just completely going to be chilling for the rest of their life, not having no problems, no issues, comfortable, and they probably going to be able to find their tribe inside of prison. Shout out to dude with locks. I'm reading the super chat
security video shows part of the beginning of the rampage. The shooter firing at an SUV with a rifle at the corner of 56th Street and Chester Avenue. At a news update today, Philadelphia District Attorney Larry Krasner said he hopes Carriker will spend the rest of their life in prison.
But I can tell you this, the man who did this is in custody. The man who did this will be facing multiple counts of murder and will also be facing multiple counts of aggravated assault as a first-degree felony, weapons charges, among others.
The attack began.
It's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. It's not. This is egregious. This is absolutely the scum of the earth and the worst of society. And anybody that's not condemning it, you are enabling it. Let's continue.
Around 8:20 last night, the scene encompasses a whole city block. Detectives say the suspect moved on foot shooting until responding officers cornered Carriker in the 1600 block of Fraser Street and made the arrest.
Again, I commend these officers for their unwavering bravery. Their swift actions undoubtedly saved additional lives.
Detectives also believe this was all planned out. Carriker was armed with a rifle, a handgun, bulletproof vest, and a scanner. However, they say it appears the victims were shot at random. Despite what investigators may uncover as a motive,
And they just so happen to be all men. They just so happen to be all men.
Mary just doesn't understand what could compel someone to do this.
Shout out to J Dubs reading that shortly.
Walking around, just shooting. For what? We probably would never know why.
We know why. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry, Mama Dukes, but we know why. You know what the uncomfortable part about it is that we don't want to address it for what it really is and have a conversation because y'all the ones that said, Anton, why do you care what other people do? What is it your business to be concerned with how it is that other people outwardly live their lives and then advocate for what it is that's going on in society? Because it devolves into this shit right here. And then everybody is saying, woe me, we don't know what's going on. No, we know what's going on. We know exactly what's going on. And guess what? You're never going to put the genie back in the bottle. You know why? Because everybody was afraid of not offending somebody instead of actually standing up for what it was that we knew was right. We know what's right. You know what's right every single day that you wake up. You know, what you're going to see in this video, even me at 11 years old with the decisions that I made as far as who it is that I decided to sleep with, I knew exactly what I was doing. As a 41-year-old man, reflecting on what my mindset was as an 11-year-old kid, I knew exactly what the fuck I was doing. I knew exactly what the hell I was doing. I was not disillusioned. I was not confused. I did not understand. I knew that I was going against everything that my parents taught me. I knew that I needed to be held accountable. I knew that I was wrong the minute that I was about to do it when I was planning on doing it before I did it. And we sitting here acting like this is a mental health issue. No, this is a lack of getting whoopings and holding people accountable and allowing for people to have kids out of wedlock and us continuing to go down and dive down this deep path of this demonic spirit that we continue to let have a hold on us because we don't want to say, rebuke the devil, get the fuck up off me, and I'm going to start being responsible for what it is. No, it's somebody else's fault. We need to get more funding. We need to have more acceptance. My body, my choice. We coming for your kids. Let's open up our relationship and have everybody else fuck our spouses. Let's do anything that we want to do, and if anybody calls it out, it's going to be the worst thing for you, not for the person that's actually committing the crimes and then devolving and making your kids subjected. One of the reasons why we almost didn't even have kids is because I didn't want to bring a child into this ugly, fucked up world. I didn't. I did not. I didn't want to subject my future daughter into this bullshit. I didn't want her to be able to see the debauchery that society had to place upon us because I was already familiar with it because I've lived through it.
You know, but you took my son. You took my baby.
But as a result, she says, they'll have to face justice.
You need a rot. You need a rot in jail. You know, you need to because that was wrong.
Okay, Shari, I know everyone is anxious for the next steps in the judicial process for this. Carriker's arraignment is tomorrow.
And he's going to go through a fair trial. And we're going to give him all of the amenities that he needs. And he's going to get good health care. And he got dental coverage in jail. These people that be coming out of jail, youth be on their side. God be preserving them because they going to chair. They going back to the church and they're going to give their life back over to Jesus. Y'all ready? Y'all ready for the rapture? Don't worry about it. Let me read some of these super chats. We going to cook today. We going to take our time and we going to slow cook this shit today. Shout out to Spaces is in the building. Says you might need to change Wednesday nights to marriage rates up, divorce rates down. You really are saying every single thing people need to hear to have a successful long-term marriage. #bag chasers. Oh, last night was an uncomfortable conversation. If y'all didn't watch the last live stream from last night, y'all need to go and check that out. The link is in the description, y'all. For the Anton Daniels channel. Thank you, Spaces. Yard boy Timmy is in the building. Says, nah, you got to make your booty a soundbite. Shout out to Yard Boy Timmy is in the building. Yardley Moist says, hold on, let me get you. Says, Anton, what up? You cooking these women IG live, but fellas, stop entering these cuckold relationships, especially when your girl is the breadwinner. Talk to him. Jason Steakums is in the building. Shout out to Jason. Says, two polar opposites. How do you operate in femininity and be masculine at the same time? David Dieta needs to enter the chat. The way of the superior man. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate you. My dog, Razik, who popped up on me last night, says, bro, please tell me you saw Jill Scott revamp the national anthem the other day. She reignited the Victim Olympics relay race. Bruh, no, I didn't. Y'all need to send that to me. Send that to me, Razik, so I can see what's happening out here in these streets. Dude with locks came through. Says, talk your talk, AD. You know what we do, big dog. Thank you for the 20 ball. I appreciate you. Also, let me give a shout out to, oh my. J-Dub says, please keep up the good work and keep holding people accountable. There is a war going on and there's a huge need for your platform. Don't stop cooking. Don't stop cooking. I got you, big dog. Thank you for the 100 ball. I appreciate you. Thank you for supporting the platform. Everybody that contributes to the platform, let me just say this. I don't ask for it, but you guys see value in what it is that we doing here, and so I'm going to acknowledge you. $1, $100, $5, whatever it is, I'm going to acknowledge you. I appreciate you. I love you. We got a whole show today. Thank you, J-Dubs. Let me give you one more applause. Because I got to make sure that you're really acknowledged and appreciated. Jarice is in the building. Says, dude couldn't get men or women. Hashtag double incel. I appreciate you, big dog. Thank you for supporting the platform. Make sure y'all hit a like for the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. The likes is a little bit low. It's a little bit low, but I'm going to give y'all some time before I hit y'all with that other Teach commercial. Kiki Palmer. Everything that's happening in society today is ratchet. Is ratchet. Everything that I see. The name of this live stream today is Ratchet. Ratchet. I didn't want to throw any additional words in there. I didn't want to say ratchet baby mamas because there's ratchet men out here that's operating out in Philly. Y'all seen what was going on with Meg Thee Stallion? Don't worry. We're going to bring her to the front of the congregation tomorrow. I heard what happened over in Essence. Yeah. It's ratchet. I can't even think of a worse word to even describe this live stream. I was looking for all kind of words. I said, what one word, 2 syllables can we put together that describes the behavior that we see happening out here? Because if I say egregious, it's more than 2 syllables. If I say dumbasses, I guess I could say dumbass. It's bad out here, y'all. It's absolutely bad. It's horrible. I am blown away by the behavior that y'all out here advocating for. So without further ado, let's go ahead and see what's happening with Kiki. Do you love me? Are you riding? Now, let me add a little bit of context for the people that's in the back, because I don't want y'all to get confused as to what it is that we're looking at here. Kiki Palmer. What was the first movie that we seen Kiki Palmer in? Kiki and the Spelling Bee or something like that? Bees in the Trees? Right now, she operating like hoes on the floor. You know what I'm saying? Oh. Kiki and the Spelling Bee. What's the name of the first movie that y'all seen Kiki Palmer in? Key and the Bee, Aquila and the Bee or something like that. Aquila and the Bee, Medea. Y'all said she belonged to the streets. Okay. Somebody said, I thought she looked good. She said, yeah, baby, I thought she looked good. Give them 2 head straps and a snap and it looked good. Aquila and the Bee. Who was in that? Lawrence Fishburne? Angela Bassett. I know my movies, but I never actually watched Aquila and the Bee, and it's disappointing. It's a disappointment. You know why it's a disappointment? Who was it? Morgan Freeman, Lawrence Fishburne, or something like that? You know why it's a disappointment? It's because when you see these people, right? And Kiki Palmer, for me, is always going to be little Kiki. You know how you know your nephews and your little nieces and all of that, and they grow up? I seen a couple of my nieces the other day, and they was big and they was growing up. I think that they had already graduated high school and all that other type of stuff, or they might just be in high school. They still like children to me. They big. They done went through puberty and all of that, and I was looking at them like, oh, little poo-poo. They still children to me because that's how I remember them. That's how I grew up seeing them. And so when I see them evolving or devolving into the ratchet shit that we see happening in today's society, it's absolutely a disappointment. It is one of the biggest disappointments ever because you've seen them in a spelling bee, the great debaters, supposed to grow up and be the ambassadors and the example for what young girls can grow up into being, especially as a young black woman, right? But no, this is what you get. Let's pause right there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's pause for the people in the audience. Let's stop right there. Let's stop right there. Now you know how I know? You know how I know what y'all thinking? Now, we got a lot of people in this live stream right now. It is, if I look at my counter, it's going up. We passed 1,000, we passed 1,100, we passed 1,200, we passed 1,300, which means the likes is not what the likes is supposed to be, right? And I'm going to be reading Superchat shortly. The likes is not what the likes is supposed to be. We didn't already pass 1,300. We approaching 1,400, about to be passing 1,400 people in this live stream watching right now. Now, I see y'all in the chat. I'm interacting with the chat. I see how y'all popping. A lot of y'all saying for the streets, can't turn a hoe into a housewife. It's just your turn, so on and so forth, right? But the audience has a completely different, and we're going to continue to play this. The audience has a completely different perspective from what you guys in the chat are saying. So either we are self-righteous or we too good to be for the streets and all of that, or there's a small population of people that's inside of this live stream right now that actually supports this behavior. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We know. You know how I know? Because I just got a dislike on the live stream. I said hit a like for the YouTube algorithm. Somebody said dislike. Bing. They did like this. They said dislike. So Kiki, Do You Love Me was at the Usher concert. And I must say, Usher puts on one of the best shows, one of the best concerts outside of maybe like a Coldplay concert that I went to. Usher was the best concert that I've ever been to in my entire life. I took Rita, my wife, to the concert back in February. And I kind of got there before all of the ratchetness really came out and showed its ass, right? But I will tell you what the environment was. So this is what the environment, and this is coming from a person that actually, was there. When I went to the show, I think it was 21 Savage was there. Tyra Banks was there. She was chilling. Fabulous was there. It was a bunch of different people that was there, right? And he did this. He executed on this flawlessly. He went into the crowd. He sung. He interacted with the audience. It was a great show. But let me tell you something. When I was in Vegas, y'all, we got over 1,400 people in here. We going to 15. When I was in Vegas, make sure you share this with your family and friends. I was in Vegas for like a week. Y'all remember the last time I was in Vegas? I was live streaming. I was having conversations. I had the whole suite. I had a whole penthouse in Badara, top floor, multiple different floors, upstairs and downstairs. Balling. And I was out and about on a regular basis. I was out and about all the time, right? And I didn't really see a whole lot of black people. Maybe it was just where I was hanging out. I was at the Bellagio. I didn't hit Dreas, right? We went over to the Wynn buffet. It was awesome, right? I was at the Vidara at Aria. There was some black people there. They was there, but they wasn't out there like they was for the Usher concert, because when the Usher concert came in, boy, oh boy, the streets was talking. Women that came in that looked like they was halfway wholesome. By the end of the show, maybe it was just the words, maybe it was serenade, maybe it was the lyrics, maybe it was that, yeah, yes. He had a whole stripper that came up and down the pole and all of that. Maybe it was that, but let me tell you something. Is some holes in this house? Is some holes in this? That's what they should have been playing at the end of the show on the way out. I didn't stick around for the whole show. By the end of the show, I was like, let me go ahead and get out of here. You know what I'm saying? I had to prepare to be able to do what I needed to do in the morning. I had business and money to go and get it. But I'm telling you, the streets was watching. Every single type of black woman that you can imagine, young, old, almost all of them. They was in groups. I seen dudes bring their girl there, and then their girl just turned absolutely, positively ratchet. I still got that behind the scenes footage. If y'all need it, I can drop it on Instagram. They're going to get mad at me, but I can drop it on Instagram for you. Absolutely ratchet. And so Kiki Palmer, as indicated in this picture, was in a place of safety. She was in her safe haven because you know why? She was around a bunch of other women that looked like her, that talk like her, that act like her, that dress like her, and was operating in the same space mentally as her. Let's continue. Now, imagine this. Let's add a little bit more context to it, ladies and gentlemen. So, you the baby daddy, use the baby daddy, right? And you see this footage because y'all don't know what y'all chicks be doing on these girls' trips. They be doing all kind of stuff. They packed that outfit. You didn't even know that outfit was in there. You didn't even know she had that hookup. She got it when she went to Vegas. She ordered it and she had it sent to her Airbnb or to her hotel room. Whole ass out. I see y'all out there. Oh, yeah, she look good. Her baby weight is falling off. I get it. New mother, potential husband, boyfriend, get to see you go viral on Instagram. And of course, you know, he's a young dude, so he's in his emotions and he types, what the fuck? You a mom? No, that's what he typed. And you know what the people did? Instead of us standing on our square and saying, yeah, man, listen, we got to start representing better. We got to start presenting ourselves better. We got to start being an example for the generation that come after us. You know what y'all did? I'm going to show y'all what y'all did. Let me see if I can find it. Kiki Palmer. Let me see. Oh. This is what happens. Let me see if I can pull it up. This is how it played out for that young man. Now, he's a new father. They've been rocking out for some time. Let me see if I can get that up here. Hold on, give me a second. Yeah. Oh, for the streets, boy. Darius Jackson, that's his name. Darius Jackson, I guess. Publicly shamed her for being a mom. Look at how they spinning this, y'all. They saying he publicly shamed her. We got 1,500 in here. We going up to 16. It'll like for the YouTube algorithm. Reading super chat shortly. Publicly shamed her for being a mom and showing off her booty cheeks on stage. And now they've unfollowed each other on Instagram. Aww. Shout out to Without Question. Be reading that super chat shortly. It says Darius tweeted that as a man of the family, He doesn't want Kiki to show off her booty cheeks to others. Is that so wrong? Let me ask y'all a question. Let me get a. If it's wrong, not if it's right. If it's wrong for this man to want to protect his woman and her assets from the whole world of seeing, understanding, and she grew up in this, knowing that she's a public figure. I'm going to be reading that super chat. Mike, thank you. If it's wrong for this man to say that, hey, man, I don't want you to showcase your booty for the world to see to others, let me know in the chat. Is it wrong for this man to not want everybody to see what's under the covers? Is it wrong for us to want to hide a little bit of what it is that we see inside of the bedroom because we don't want it to be accessible to everybody? Is it wrong for us to want our chick to represent us with a little bit of class? Or should he just say anything goes? Should he be Adam 22 and just go ahead and go for the whole thing and then advocate for a black man to fuck his chick too while you at it? Are you a representation of the men that you decide to have children with? Been together for 2 years, holding each other, have children. Look at him. He was with her when she ain't got on no man. He's with her, no makeup. So this is the real her. This is Auntie Kiki. Y'all know y'all chicks look like aunties when they take off that makeup. No Vaseline, no extra makeup. Look, it's a difference. Let me show you. This is the her you get when you meet her. This is the her you get when she wake up. He with her through thick and thin, holding her down. Auntie, let me get some head. Holding her down. Aunt Kiki, do you love me? Are we riding? Holding her down. Play this position through thick and thin. Look at him. Aww. Aww. This is Savannah James-esque. This is Savannah James-esque. Okay? She's looking like a wholesome girl. I would want to have her as a representation in this picture. If I seen her in this picture, I say, look at this good woman. Look at this good, wholesome woman. Look at her. Got her afro out, having a conversation, and then right after that. So this, and you know what's so funny? Look at this, 7.8 million views. She got all the likes on this one, none of the likes on the other one. So when she was looking like, hold on. When she was looking like this, y'all wasn't tripping. But when she looking like this, y'all give her 7.8. Okay, I'm with it. When she looking like this, there goes my baby. There goes my baby. Woo! Get it, Kiki. Look at her. Look at her. This is y'all queen? Okay. All right. All right. Well, guess what happened? Guess what happened? When Usher got done with her, shout out to Usher, baby. When Usher got done with her, he felt a little jealous. He felt a little jealous. He said, God damn it, everybody can see what's up under there. I thought it was just me. I thought it was just me. Now they unfollowing everybody on Instagram. Huh? Now they feeling a certain type as certain type of way as a result of it, huh? And look at her girlfriends. Not one of her homies, they don't love you. Let me tell you, ladies, your girlfriends ain't got your back because not one of them said, hey, girl, what you doing? You can't walk outside like that. Look. Let me tell you how wrong, ratchet, horrible, and absolutely miserable y'all gonna be dealing with these women. I gave y'all the blueprint last night. I said, listen, it's red flags to know whether or not a woman is for the streets, even if they present themselves a certain type of way, right? I saw the Anton, y'all crazy. I said, well, the first thing you got to do is you got to pay attention to her friends. Is because if she was able to get out the house like that without not one of her homegirls saying, hey, that look a little bad. Hey, that don't look good. You know you're going to be on social media, right? I heard, listen, because I know y'all, listen, this is what women do. They go and they watch all of the different ways and then things that's going to happen at the concert before it happened. Y'all see it on TikTok, social media. You researched it. You know Usher is going to come into the audience at that particular spot. And you know you're going to be on videos. You know you're going to be on social media. And ain't not one of your girls, ain't not one of your homegirls. Now, you know if he feeling a certain type of way as a result of this, that he didn't know that you was going to be looking like this. He didn't know you was going to be looking like this. I'm reading Superchat shortly. And because he didn't know when you was going to be looking like this, now he's depending on you to be the best version of yourself. And because you don't know how to think for yourself and do what it is that you're supposed to do and represent yourself, which you also represent him when you step outside the door, your homegirls are supposed to be your next line of defense. So you got like 8 lines of defenses, right? 8 lines of defense. Not one of your friends that's sitting there enabling you is saying, hey, this don't look good. That's not a good look for you, baby girl. That's not a good look for you. Not one of your friends was like, hey, oh, not that one. You know, you can still go out, look good, and have fun, but you ain't got to be looking, you ain't got to have your whole ass out. You walk past the mirror, you walk past your friends, you hid it from your man, and now you out here in these streets looking dumb. And now, you know what the worst part about this whole conversation is? Let me tell you what the worst part is. We passed 16, we going to 1,700. The likes is not a reflection of the people that's watching this right now. Let's get the likes up, ladies and gentlemen. Is the culture trash yet, or do we have to keep going? Is the culture trash yet, or do we keep going? What up to all of the people that just touched in? Y'all a little late. Y'all a little late. Welcome to the Millionaire Morning Show. We cook up here. Y'all a little late. Do we classify the culture as trash yet, or do we keep going? All right, let's keep going. That's what y'all wanted to see, huh? See, the fellas, we not going to trip about it. You know why we not going to trip about it? Because your chick is for the streets. And so who am I to tell her not to show off her ass and give us all a good view? It's a free strip show to us, right? We going to look at your chick and we going to be like, damn, she for the streets, fam. I can't believe you let your homegirl get out like that because you wasn't able to identify the one that you shouldn't have been with. And now you got to go over here and deal with her when she get home. Everybody done seen her, including me. So we not going to trip. That's our norm. The girls is going to say, well, everybody want her because look at all of the likes that she get on Instagram. Usher is going to use it because it gets him more visibility for this phenomenal show that he putting on. At what point do we not stop seeking the attention of people that don't give a fuck about you and start leaning into the things and the morals and the principles that we were raised with. Because you know Gam Gam don't even like this shit. I'll take that back. Gam Gam is different now. Gam Gam is 37. Gam Gam is 37 years old now. She probably at the show with you. She twerking. Gam Gam got a BBL. Gam Gam, ma'am, and then you, Kiki. Everybody got 2-syllable words in their names. If you see a group of women and they walk past you and 6 of them, it's all 6 of them, and all of them got 2-syllable nicknames, it's over. Leave her for the streets. She not yours. It's just your turn. And they came after the guy and they started holding the man accountable and telling him that he was wrong for saying that she shouldn't have been out there, but she's a mom though. She needs to raise her standards, and the way she goes about doing things, it's a little bit different. Gam Gam is 37. Mama is 22. Gam Gam is, listen, grandma's 37. Great grandma is 50. This is what we dealing with today. Yo great grandma's 50. Yo grandmother is 37. Yo mama is 22. And you already 5. Where they do that at? Black community? Where they do that at? The black community? Great grandmother is 50. Gam Gam is 37. Mama is 22. And the child is 5. Who gonna watch the baby? They all going to the same place. They all at the Usher concert. And where the baby at? With the daddy being babysit. While great grandma, Gam Gam, and mama is out there looking like a piece of shit. Oh, the math is mathing. Oh, the math is mathing. Add it up. Grandma 50. Great grandma's 50. Great grandma, Gam Gam, is 37. Do the math. Mama's 22. Baby is 5. The math is mathing. The math don't get any more mathed than that. Don't tell me the math ain't mathing. That's the math. I know my numbers. Listen, of all the things that I didn't know, my numbers, my mental math was on point. Because I knew I had to count money. Yeah, mama, you look good. Listen, 30 is the new 20. 40 is the new 22. No, 40 is 40, nigga. At your age. At your age. 40 is 40. 30 is 30. 20 is 20. Stop acting like a fucking child. You have one now. Let me read super chats and we're going to move over to the next. I want to deal with Tez. Tez made the news from the Breakfast Club and my stream got cut off yesterday, but I vowed to get a little bit more understanding of who this woman was. But before we do so, before we go into the next thing, we got to make sure that we deal with the main thing before we get to the next thing. J-Tay is in the building. We appreciate you, J-Tay. J-Tay says this was everything that you talked about when you talked about the protection part when it comes to provision and protection that her baby daddy was exuding, but women don't know the true meaning of the two. Shout out to J-Tay. I appreciate you. You are absolutely positively correct. Kevin Robinson Jr. is in the building. Says, I went to the Usher show with my wife 2 weeks ago. It was a whole crowd of 35 plus year old, 75 pound overweight, Pocahontas weaves, and raptor claws. Yeah. Is that the noise that a raptor make? Well, technically, we don't know the noise that a raptor makes, but we just going to say, yeah. That's the noise that the raptor make, or the hyenas. Shout out to Kevin Robinson. I appreciate you. Without question is in the building. Says, if you only had the Kevin Samuels smack soundbite. Shout out to Kev Samuels. We appreciate you. Old Country Boy is in the building. Says, I support her confidence. You go, girl. Mike Awesome. Shout out to Mike Awesome. Says, Kiki Palmer can disrespect her man and every female sides with her. But Robin Thicke did the exact same thing and all hell broke loose because it's different standards. It's different standards, and we know that we're not going to be saved, but without question, they're certainly going to be supported no matter what. Shout out to my dog, Old Country Boy. Says, why is the chat shaming this strong black woman? Time Out said, what up, though? But Anton, she wears less at the beach, so it should be okay, right? Without question is in the building. Says, this is the result of marrying them free-spirited women. As Devon Franklin, how that turned out. Ooh, y'all throwing shots at, what's the model's name, the chick? Y'all throwing shots at the old girl? Kiki, do you love me? Shout out to you. Patty Jackson is in the building. Says, yo, Anton, when you releasing that debut album? I don't know. Y'all want me to hit another note for y'all? I'm not about to keep hitting notes for y'all. Chike Auto LLC is in the building. Says, I will give her Kevin Samuels strong 4.5. Ooh, y'all so hard on these women. Shout out to Kevin Samuels. Ian is in the building. Says, her twerk video was wild as F. We already seen it. I haven't been following Kiki Palmer. I have no idea that she was out here twerking. So you telling me the proof was already in the pudding before she landed at the Usher concert? This is not the first time that we seen this? Oh, my God. Brock is in the building. Shout out to Brock. Says, Kiki Palmer has always been a hyena in disguise, and in my Yoda voice, the chameleon energy is strong with this one. Yes, it is. Pass a love offering. Shout out to Brock. I appreciate you for holding me down. Spaces is in the building. Shout out to Spaces. Says, Usher's Tiny Desk concert slapped. Oh, it did. It did. That Tiny Desk. Hey, I'm about to drop a debut album, and then y'all gonna see it premiere on Class C Beats platform. Shout out to Class C Beats. I rock with you, fam. Trucker Yale is in the building. Shout out to Trucker Yale. Says they jumped all over Uzi Vert, saying he was mad disrespectful, but celebrated Kiki, saying she living her best life. Make it make sense. They really jumping on him for actually saying something. No, you supposed to shut the fuck up and be quiet and let your chick be out here for the streets. So Gam Gam holding the baby while mama dances with Usher. Classy Beats is in the building. Says the good doctor will say this is Usher's fault. This is Usher's fault. All right. Razik is in the building. Shout out to my dog Razik. Says when dudes start hurting these yamps feelings, Sam Cooke voice, change is gonna come. Oh yes it is. Oh yes it is. Chike Auto LLC says she got pregnant at 17. Really? You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. No effing way that she got pregnant when she was 17. No way. No way, Chike Auto LLC. I don't believe it. You're going to have to sell me another dream because not Kiki from the spelling bee. Not Kiki. The Lucid Experience says, I hope the men are paying attention to the women's responses about this. Just know this could be you. Hypocrisy is at an all-time high. Shout out to Lucid Experience. I appreciate you. Thank you, everybody, for the super chats. Make sure you hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Who is Teslin Figaro? Who is Teslin Figaro? Listen, Tez, excuse me if I messed up your name. It was not intentional. I did not mean to. I do not look to mess up people's names. Shout out to Chike Auto LLC. I'm going to be reading that super chat shortly. I do not look to mess up people's names. I just want to see what the truth is. I just want to do a little bit more deep diving. I just want to see what the research shows, right? And so I did a little deep dive, and the first thing that you do when you start the deep dive, when I seen it, I said, well, I'm going to just go ahead and share it with my people. I want to see what the IG is looking like, right? Because the goal for this woman was never to have a conversation with my man Vivek, who is running for president, who's invented life-saving medicines, who has done a lot of volunteer work, who is personally and professionally one of the best people that I've seen running for president, in that he's transparent, right? And so, more than just reacting to what happened to the Breakfast Club, which I did that yesterday, and they cut my stream. Make sure y'all hit a like for the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't subscribed to the Patreon, link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. And so the first thing that we want to do is, when women present themselves as smart, wise, not willing to have a conversation, but debating, neck on the chicken string, over talking, we have to automatically assume that they're carrying themselves professionally because they're without fault. No? Are y'all saying no? Not carrying themselves professionally? Why is it people in the chat telling me, just curious, why are there people in the chat telling me, but she thick though? But she thick though. Why would we be saying, but she thick though, if we don't truly know anything about her or what it is that she stands for, right? Why would the first thing be, but she thick though, right? Oh, I know why. I know why. It's because of that Instagram. It's that IG. So when we start to evaluate what's going over here on Instagram, ladies and gentlemen, the first picture that is pinned is the picture that they want for you to see, because it is a true reflection of what it is that they're trying to portray to the general public, or to the thirsty men, or to the women, and so on and so forth. And so when I go to her profile, and this is the first thing that I see, now the initial thing that people are going to say is, oh yeah, she thirst trapping, right? Thick in all the right places. We'll bust that down. I see Gone Postal says she thick though, but she thick though. Y'all said scroll down? Let me scroll down. That's what y'all want to see, Razik? Fellas, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. This is how y'all get finessed. Shout out to O'Neal Harris. I'm going to be reading that super chat shortly. This is how y'all get finessed. You know how you get finessed? Is because you let what it is that you see influence your decision of whether or not you're going to rock with somebody. And so you're no longer paying attention to the thing that she egregiously said on the live stream. You're more or less paying attention to her booty. Would you look at this woman and say, my goodness, she is presenting herself as a wholesome woman that is worthy of having a conversation with a potential president of the United States of America? Or is she trapping? So, in my quest to learn more and understand more about her, instead of just getting smitten by what it is that I see right here, I, Anton Daniels from AntonDaniels.com, decided to zero in on what it is that she says. Today I did the front page news at Breakfast Club AM from my hotel in North Carolina. I will do my best to bring you information regardless of the circumstances. And then the men start going in. They said you look like a whole fucking clown and all of this other type of stuff, right? People don't have no problems with going in. And then here's the second thing that she got pinned, is what it is that she said on the Breakfast Club. We know what she said on the Breakfast Club. And then the third thing that she got pinned, y'all said that she's a stallion, huh? She's a stallion. Look at her go. Look at her. This is what y'all want? Is this what y'all want? Just curious. Give me a 1 in the chat. Be honest, fellas. Be honest. Give me a 1 in the chat if this is what you want. If this is what you're looking for. Now, you already have the additional context. You've seen the way she was talking to the presidential candidate. You see that she overtalks. You know she snatches dreams. You know she's possibly a strong black woman. Give me a 1 in the chat if this is what y'all want. All right. Let me change the question. As I see that y'all gonna front, y'all gonna lie to me because I know y'all niggas. I know my niggas. I knows my niggas. Shout out to Trucker Yell. Glenn was honest. Glenn said he wanted. BP said he wanted. See? Tattoo Mills, Sam the God, Vanums said they wanted. This is how I know. This is how I know it's so easy to get y'all and finesse y'all. Because y'all are blinded by what it is that you see walking behind a woman. Because you know black women, when they walk past you, most of them, when they walk past you, they body walking and they booty come afterwards. You know what I'm saying? So it's easy for y'all to get easily blinded and then lose track of what it is that you're supposed to be looking for. Lose track of what it is that you're supposed to be surrounding yourself by. Lose track of the main thing. The main thing is supposed to be the main thing. And so what y'all do is y'all start, see, look, watch this. Did you see it? Did you see it? All right, so let me show you one more time. All right, you didn't catch it. You're not focused. Let me help you out for a minute. All right? Tell me if you see the difference. Right? Because right now you're seeing her at her best. You're seeing her at her finest. So this is the picture and the attitude that she has when she's staring you fucking down and she about to cuss you out because she tired of your shit. All right? And then if you remove it, this is what you came to see. Old country boy. See? You telling the truth. For most of these guys, the thickness, quote unquote thickness, overrides the attitude. So this is what you came for. This is what you signed up for. You know how they got them. This is what you bought. This is what you received. This is what you bought. Oh, no, don't say, nope. Don't say never mind now. Don't say never mind now. Don't you sit here and try to renege on the deal. You signed up for it. You wanted to hit it. You wanted the best of her. This is what you signed up for. And this is what you got. This is what you got. And this is the thing that I try to tell guys all the time. Remove the veil from your eyes and let God speak to you. Turn to your neighbor and say, remove the veil from my eyes. Turn to your neighbor on the right and say, I was blind and now I can see. Because y'all forgot the whole conversation that she just had on the Breakfast Club, and you called her unruly, and you said that she was out of control and she wasn't doing things properly and she spoke out of turn. And she was an angry black woman, and she never went into it with an honest perspective of trying to be open and hearing what he had to say. Y'all said all of this shit, and then you got blinded the minute that I did this. The minute that I did that, all logic, all sense went out the window. And this is why we got to have a level of dick discipline. Turn to your neighbor on the left and say, Lord, remove the veil from my eyes. Turn to your neighbor on the right and say, I was blind and now I can see. All right. So I just threw her name into YouTube after I looked at a few of the things, and the Instagram is quite honestly lackluster. A bunch of bullshit on there. Here, let me show it to you. I don't want you to take my word for it. I want you to see it for yourself. Instagram is quite lackluster in that it's just a bunch of circled political stuff and articles and Charlemagne the God and, you know, just a bunch of shit. Looks like a knockoff of Shade Room or some shit. Look. Y'all signed up for that, and this is what you got. You still want it? Do you still want it? Do you still want what's right here? Because I know y'all said that y'all wanted it. I know y'all said that, ooh wee. You know what I'm saying? She put on that dress, and so she making me feel some type of way. And this is what you got. Let me show you what you get. A lot of y'all confused as to what it is that's inside of the package. This is what you got.
Drinkers is up to 6 drinks a week, but do not binge. 6 is a lot. That's like maybe 1 drink, a day.
Drink a day.
This is what you get. Oh, no. Where was all of the ones in the chat? Hey, somebody put a 1 in the chat again. Somebody put a 1 in the chat and let me know if this is what you signed up for. Turn to your neighbor on the right and say, I signed up for that. Ain't no going back. Turn to your neighbor on the left and say, I signed up for that. It ain't no going back. This is what you signed up for. Shout out to Dr. Umar Johnson. But let's get back to it. So I just pulled up a quick video. I looked for a decent title, and then it says something about how Bernie Sanders supporter speaks about the Democratic National Convention scandal. I said, oh, okay, this looks like something that I'd want to have a conversation about. So make sure y'all hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. I'm going to be reading Super Chat shortly. Let's go.
Joining us now is former National Justice Director for Bernie Sanders. Teslin Figaro is with us.
Former national, hold on. Let me get her title right. Let me get the title right because I don't want to disrespect you. Let me get the title right, all right?
Now is former National Justice Director for Bernie Sanders. Teslin Figaro is with us.
Former National
Justice Director for Bernie.
Former National Justice Director for Bernie Sanders. But she's an independent. What she said on the platform was, listen, Vivek, I'm going to lead with the idea that I'm an independent. Former Bernie Sanders National Justice Director. Bernie Sanders, for those of you that don't know, is one of the leftist left people that I've ever heard of in my entire life. One of the most left-leaning people that I've ever heard of in my entire life. But she led with, when she was on the platform, that I am an independent. Everything that she grilled him on. Conversations about affirmative action. Trying to make him justify being a hall monitor in school in order to say that he served the people. Bernie Sanders is the most radical person on the left that I can think of outside of Elizabeth Warren. Way more radical than Elizabeth Warren. If it was up to Bernie Sanders, rich people would be at a 95% tax rate. But let me make sure that we get her title right one more time.
Now is former National Justice Director for Bernie Sanders. Teslin Figaro is with us. Fox News legal analyst.
Look at her face.
Greg Jarrett, former Clinton pollster, Fox News contributor Doug Schoen. Tezlyn, I guess I got to start with you tonight. I know you're a big Bernie supporter. And if I supported Bernie Sanders and I found out the news that we just discovered yesterday, that the fix was in, that...
How can you be an independent but you're a huge Bernie Sanders supporter? How can you be an independent but you're a huge Bernie Sanders supporter? We're just going to go ahead and figure this shit out as we go. We're going to let the main thing be the main thing. That's what she said.
The primary was rigged, that she stole the election, that a signed secret deal was made with the Clinton campaign and the DNC. I would be apoplectic at how shocking this can happen in the United States of America in this day and age.
It's not even, it's bigger than just being a supporter. I'm here for every supporter, every surrogate that was dragged all over Twitter for speaking the truth, like Senator Nina Turner, Dr. Cornel West, every voter that voted.
Dr. Cornel West, speaking on behalf of and in support of Dr. Cornel West. Wow. Interesting.
In this primary, those who really believed in the American process, all of us, from Sanders staffers, supporters, surrogates, have all come to say, we told you so. And it's so much bigger, Sean, than just a politician.
Now listen, Remember, communication is 90% body language, 10% of how it is or what it is that you're actually saying that's coming out of your mouth. 90% body language, 10% of what comes out of your mouth. Look at how she speaks.
Voted in this primary, those who really believed in the American process, all of us from Sanders staffers, supporters, surrogates have all come to say, we told you so. And it's so much bigger, Sean, than just a politician or being a pundit. I worked on the campaign. I spent 7-8 months on the campaign every day away from my 10-year-old child, lost my mother while I was on this campaign due to lung cancer, really believing in the American process. And we told you all along that it was rigged. And so this is really a big deal to have Donna Brazile, someone who has been connected not just to the Clinton establishment, but to the Democrat Party for over 30 years, that has come out and spilled the tea on her own friends. So I look forward to see what else is going to come out as a result of this scandal.
Let's see if we can figure out who this woman is. Let me pivot for a minute and see if I can pull up something different.
Let them disrespect.
Is that Ben Crump? Now, I don't know a whole lot about Ben Crump, but people keep telling me that Ben Crump is like the new Jesse Jackson, the new, what's the other one with the slick hair that lost a bunch of weight and now he looked like a bobblehead? What's the other one? What's the other one that lost a bunch of weight and now he got like a bobblehead? Not Jesse Jackson. It's y'all tell me in the chat. I know y'all know. Is this Ben Crump? Said the most neglected person in America is the black woman. Yeah. Al Sharpton. Somebody said Don King. Al Sharpton. Hey, we got 1,700 people in here. I'm going to need y'all to hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. If you have not already, make sure you get your Teach Hanley, 30% off your first order plus a free gift. And then more importantly, if you have not tapped into the Patreon, link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I just want to hear what she got to say. I just want to learn about it.
Powerful words from Benjamin Crump from earlier today. Activists, lawyers, and community members turned out in Baytown, Texas for a rally honoring Pamela Turner. Today marks the 2-year anniversary of her death. Turner was shot and killed by police officer Juan de la Cruz. All right, today's rally not only called for the firing of Officer de la Cruz.
Ooh, that woman be coming in looking like a bulldog.
Also a recognition of all the women that have died at the hands of police. Political commentator and BNC contributor Teslin Figaro spoke at today's rally. She joins me tonight to share.
She spoke at the same rally as Ben Crump? Interesting.
More about today's event. Teslyn, hey.
Hey, Yildi, thanks for having me.
Of course. I want to start our conversation with one of your statements from earlier. You talked about the fruit. You said, quote, in order to have healing, you have to uproot the tree, not just deal with a couple bad apples. Why was it so important for you to share this message at
what was that? What scripture is that? Ben Crump 2020?
Today's rally.
Well, it was really important because Joe Biden, as we know, his entire campaign was about healing the soul of America. So I simply used the same words that he used and reminded him what his promise was, not just to America, but specifically to the African-American community. When Joe Biden won, he said flat out, black people, I owe you.
So she's a blackity black. She's a blackity black. All right. So we're learning and we're mining this out as we having a conversation. Let's go.
He has consistently said over and over that Gianna Floyd, that he looked her in her eyes and that he would make a difference and that her dad changed the world. So part of my message was about healing America as he promised, which is getting to the root of the problem. And the second part of it was to Representative Jim Clyburn, who earlier this week, as you know, said that policing is not about, just qualified immunity, but about good apples and bad apples. So I wanted to connect those things about it's not about just, good fruit that went bad. It is about the problem, the root, the systematic racism. And because over the
Trigger word. Let me go ahead and preface this live stream by saying that it's all, fellas, as a person that identifies herself as an independent, all right? As a person that identifies herself as an independent, when you hear the word systematic racism, we already know what boat you fall into. When you hear the words systematic racism, Victim Olympics, blackety black, tend to be a little bit more liberal, chicken string, strong black woman. We're never probably ever going to see a man inside of her Instagram pictures that's outside of somebody that she's working with. Systematic racism. So we learning. Y'all with me? Let's continue to hear what she has to say. She got a lot of big words. So us, or me as a C student, I got listen a little bit more careful to make sure that I mine out certain terms that'll give me the flags that I need in order to identify and effectively put somebody in the boat that they're supposed to be in.
Last couple of weeks with Tim Scott saying, that America's not a racist country, and VP Harris echoing that, and Jim Clyburn echoing that. I felt it was important to connect all three of those pieces with the root of the problem, healing America, and not changing the narrative about it being just bad apples and good apples, but actually systematic racism at its core.
Systematic. The fact that black women, because they're advocating on behalf of black women, they're the least protected and the least shielded. As a black woman, you're the least protected, and it's systematic as to why things are happening to you as far as what's happening to you in the situations that you place yourself in. Okay, cool. I get it. America is racist. We don't necessarily like America. Systematic racism, and until you uproot the problem, then we never gonna solve for it. Okay, good. I got it.
Well, today's rally also called for justice in the names of other women killed at the hands of police, like Tatiana Jefferson, Breonna Taylor, Sandra Bland. Why is it so important to continue to say their names?
It's absolutely important, when we continue to say their names over and over. But you know what the sad part is, Yo D? People can't even keep up, at this point. It's so many names. It's so many different stories. It's so many different, when I was sitting there and introducing, different people to activists and different families that were there. I mean, you can
Messy Mathematician said, and the term is systemic.
Literally see that people have a very hard time with just keeping up with who is who. So although it is definitely important to say their names, because each individual case, as you know, is different. Each individual case deserves their own justice, but it's also important that we have balance to talk about the issue as a whole, as a collective. Because what I'm also seeing, because there are so many names, I'm seeing people try to adjudicate which case is more important.
Ooh, she's smart. She used the term adjudicate. Ooh. Messy Mathematician said not systematic, systemic. Not systematic, systemic. Messy Mathematician, thank you for the correction. I appreciate you.
Than the other. And so in some cases, that's allowing some families to have more attention and some families to not have any, like the Pamela Turner case. But what's happening also, Yodita, is people are finding ways to justify one thing over the other. Well, this person was resisting, well, this person wasn't. And the overall message is pick a case. It's
so it doesn't matter if you're resisting. It doesn't matter how it is that you're moving out here. The only thing that matters is whether or not I'm a reserve judgment. I'm going to reserve judgment until I learn a little bit more about her. I'm curious as to how it is that she's moving out in these streets. Let me see something. I'm curious as to how it is that she's moving out here in these streets. It's weird, man. It's weird that some of these people just pop up out of nowhere and then all of a sudden they go viral. And then we're starting to look at them as somehow the voices of our community and they speaking on behalf of us and all of this other type of stuff. It's wild. It's absolutely wild. Let me see what my dog just sent me. I don't see that thread, big dog. Hold on. I'm gonna keep my eye on it. I'm going to keep my eye on it. I'm curious as to who this woman is, why y'all follow her, and why y'all look at her as a voice for the people. I'm learning a little bit more. So as we learn, we're going to mine it out. And we're going to share the information, and we're going to learn together. Let me read a few of the super chats, and then we're going to continue on with the show because I want to add value into y'all life. I don't want to have a conversation about the money. We know it always comes back down to the money. So let me read a few of these, and we're going to get it popping. All right. Let's see. Chike Auto LLC is in the building. Shout out to Chike. Says, bro, the family circle is getting wider and wider. I agree. There are no standards anymore. P. Rothstein 216 is in the building. I appreciate you. Says, I used to like Kiki Palmer, but as soon as she started to embrace being a baby mama, I was like, man, she is just like everybody else. What a shame. Everybody is going to disappoint you at some point, I guess. Let's see. Ayers O'Neill Harris says, Teslin, embarrassment. No intellectual rigor in her questions. Shout out to you. I appreciate you, my friend, for holding me down across the pond. Old country boy says, the thickness overrides attitude, Anton. That's a fact for most dudes. Chike Auto LLC is in the building. Says, packaging nice. The product 0.00000003%. Y'all wild. I don't even know how y'all come up with this stuff sometimes. Shout out to Black and Blue TV. Says, no need to deep dive. She has a 12 IQ. DJ Simp V and Charlemagne the Booty Man kept saving her. That is true. That is absolutely true. Old country boy is in the building. Says, they capping. Her DMs is fire right now. Dr. Miami is up +1, and I agree with you. I can't say that she got a BBL or nothing, but who's to say? We don't know. We can't put it past anybody today. Chike Auto LLC says, people who don't create nothing like her like arguing blindly with people who create things that they and their family benefit from for generations. And I don't see anything wrong with capitalism. I don't know why there's such a hate for people that benefit from adding value into society. Isn't that the way that we want it to be? Jupiter 1000 times ice says, amazing Lucas had her on defending her buffoonery. She is on IG. Let me see what's going on IG right now. What's her name again? Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. I got to figure out what's happening out here in these streets. Let me pull this up. See, when we doing this live, we can operate in real time, so it's easier for us to figure out what's happening in these streets. You said amazing Lucas had her on defending her buffoonery. She's on her IG. Amazing Lucas? Let me see something. Give me a second, y'all. I don't even know who Amazing Lucas is. I don't see nothing. I don't see nothing worth talking about anyways. No, I don't see nothing. So when y'all get that, make sure that y'all send that over to me and I'll check it out because I'm curious as to what the heck is going on out in these streets. Bitcoin Brown is in the building. Shout out to Bitcoin Brown. Bitcoin Brown says, Time, I'm getting here late, but tell me you up on the threads. Yes, I am. I am on threads. I am on Instagram. I am tapping in. Says Meta does it again. They did 10 million signups in 7 hours. There's got to be a bag here. Y'all want me to break down that threads play? I'll break down threads tomorrow. I'll give you my opinion on threads. I've been using it today. I signed up for it today. One of the benefits from it is because it allows for you to import everybody that you're using over on Instagram as your followers. So they're using that as a play. But I'll get into that tomorrow. We'll break down threads. Let me read a couple more super chats and then we're going to move over with the show. Without question says, I commented, delete this on that interview. Shout out Without Question. I appreciate you for holding me down. let me get into something else that I think is a little bit more pertinent and a little bit more worth the conversation, okay? Shout out to my truckers. I know I got a lot of truckers that rock with me day in and day out. Make sure y'all hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications. If you do not have that Teach pack, it's 30% off your first order plus a free gift. If you rocking with any other product, any other healthcare product as far as your skin, moisturizing and all of that other type of stuff, right? Then make sure that you continue to rock with what it is that we got going over here. Sign up for that Teach, handling 30% off your first order. The link is in the description. If you are not a part of the Patreon, if you need to kick it with me personally, you need to sign up. Patreon link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I heard it's hard out here for the truckers. Now, shout out to my truckers. I love my truckers. I love my guys that be listening to me on the road. Some of the most loyal people. Shout out to Stan Autry. Some of the most loyal people in the building. Mr. Showtime 982. I'm going to be reading that super chat shortly. I love my truckers. But word on the street is that it's not looking good for a lot of my truckers, especially my lady truckers. Right? Somebody sent me an article because I coach a lot of truckers and I have a lot of conversations, so I know what y'all dealing with. I think that a lot of y'all were sold a bag of goods that was really spoiled, and they tried to sell y'all on the idea that y'all was going to make a whole lot of money just because everybody was paying truckers a lot of money during the pandemic because we had logistical nightmares that then inflated the prices. And so a lot of guys went out and they brought trucks and stuff like that. They couldn't find no workers. They didn't know how to compete. They didn't know the true cost that came along with it and so on and so forth. And somebody even invited me to get into trucking by buying a truck and then putting somebody on the road. And I said, nah, I don't know anything about it. One of the things I teach in the Patreon is never invest into something just because it seems like a good business opportunity. You have to truly understand it. But there's an article out here that basically speaks to and talks about what is happening out here in these streets. And I want to share it with you today, all right? So, oh, man. What the hell is going on here, though? Baby girl, not the side profile. And listen, I'm not here to talk shit about you. I'm just saying, listen, before we even get into this, because let me scroll over and let me show you what the article is about. The article is that truckers flooded the market during COVID, but now they're struggling to pay their bills. And so I want to break this down for you really quickly. But they not doing y'all right, ladies, mama Sadies. They are not doing y'all right in these photos. For some reason, they keep on having y'all take these side profile pictures with no waist trainer on, right? You don't have your booty pads on, your, what do y'all call that? What is that thing that the fanny pack go over? Your, what's that pouch? The pouch that women got in the front. What I forgot what the name of that pouch. What's the name of that pouch that women got? They that thing that's sitting in the front. Somebody in the chat tell me what the name of the pouch is. Shout out to Jupiter 1000. I appreciate it. A fupa. Your fupa. Y'all got to tell them to start taking some better pictures of y'all. Seriously. Shout out to Sky. I appreciate you. I'm going to be reading that super chat. I love you, Sky. Thank you for rocking out for me. Shout out to the Fupas. Yo, they be taking some bad photos of y'all. And I know y'all grinding. I know y'all hustling. The muffin top, is it the muffin? But the muffin top is a thing that spill over on the sides. Anyways, I'm talking about the fupa, not the muffin top. But anyways, the name of the article is breaking down literally why truckers flooded the market during the pandemic, and now they out here struggling a little bit. So we're going to break this down a little bit, right? Said in the midst of the pandemic, with consumers buying up goods in their lockdown lifestyle, supply chain snarled, and Arnisha, told y'all to watch out for them girls that got an A at the end of their name. Arnisha Barron saw a moment to make her dream starting her own trucking company. Now, this is one of the interesting things about this whole thing, right? Is because I remember during the pandemic, you could not miss You could not miss. There was a ton, 100 million different articles of people that were talking about why you need to get into trucking, why you need to buy a box truck, why you need to buy a semi, why you need to put people in trucks. People is getting rich off of trucking and all of this other type of stuff. Guess what I see now? I don't see none of that shit. I don't see none of it. Can you make a good living doing it? Absolutely. Are you doing the same numbers that y'all was doing during the pandemic? Absolutely not. Did people adjust their lifestyles to reflect what it was that they were taking in during a time where it was only going to be temporary? That is the main problem. Now we getting into the thick of things, all right? She says she saw a moment to make her dream starting a trucking company come true. I bet you she was watching a lot of Instagram and YouTube videos about it too, but we're not gonna go there. We're gonna get to it. The 39-year-old single mother of 3 teenagers, red flag, shout out to Razik, I'm reading that super chat shortly. 39, single mother, 3 kids, had worked for 6 years driving a semi-truck across the country as an employee at a trucking company. But in 2021, as the shipping rates surged, she decided to strike out on her own. She took out a loan for a new $175,000 truck and was soon taking home as much as $20,000 a month in profit. Had hit the jackpot. Let me say that one more time. She took out a loan of $175,000. Soon taking home as much as $20,000 a month in profit. Then all of the Instagram videos went. Everybody was talking about buy your own truck, black people, get into the business, so on and so forth, blah, 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 right? And if you notice, I never, ever, ever, ever talked about trucking here on the Millionaire Morning Show. I never talked about it in the Patreon. I never went into it. You know why? Because I ran the numbers. I ran the numbers. I looked at what they were making before. I looked at how the successful ones were doing it at that time. I looked at what the numbers were during the pandemic. I went and looked at what was going on at the shipping docks, what the struggles were of the trucking companies. Certain people that's a part of the bag chasers were truckers, and they were also studying to be software engineers. And they were asking me if they should get away from what they were studying for because they were only so many months away from getting a degree, and if they should focus more on the main thing, which is the trucking. And I said, nope, make sure that you do both. If you have time to be able to continue to run them loads and get that bag, but don't increase your lifestyle. Don't make the adjustment. You're going to have a hard time being able to find somebody to drive that truck. You're not taking into consideration the maintenance costs that come along with it, especially when things break down. Get that thing that you can fall back on. They said, I bet. Best decision they ever made. Now, is trucking a bad thing? Absolutely not. I love my truckers, and I think a lot of them are still getting to the bag. But the problem is that people look at a lot of these videos and they jump headfirst into something that they don't truly understand. Just because it's a lot of money temporarily there does not mean that you're supposed to be embracing it long term, because you have to take into consideration the current conditions and the circumstances. It's similar to real estate. Right now, the big thing is hard money loans, wholesaling, real estate, flipping, finding depressed areas that we're speculating that's going to turn because all of the building is starting to come over to this way, so we're going to go into the depressed area. No, listen. The fundamental rules of what success looks like, no matter what business that you go into, is the same. A, you never invest in something that you don't understand. It's a fundamental principle that Warren Buffett stands by. B, when you're looking at real estate, it's the same thing. It doesn't change. Location, location, location. When you're talking about trucking, you prepare for the worst and you embrace what the profits are when things are really, really great, because just like real estate, it is a roller coaster. It is a roller coaster. And so I see a lot of people going broke, losing their fucking faces, and then y'all want to come and get a coaching call. Go ahead and get your coaching call, but because you don't understand the industry and you're only looking at half of the information, it's hard for you to make an informed decision. She says it was amazing. I was a teen parent. I had my first child at 15. Told y'all the math was mathing. When I told y'all earlier and I said Gam is 37, great grandma's 50, the daughter, the little kid is 5, and the baby girl is 22, the math is math. And she says she had her first child at 15. My math is correct. And all the odds were against me. I had all 3 of my children graduate from high school while I was in a truck and still made it happen. But like thousands of other truck drivers across the country, Barron's fortunes didn't last long. Over the past year, shipping rates have tumbled, leaving her and other drivers who bet big on the trucking boom struggling to make a living. You know what that translates into? Winter is coming. Winter is coming. There's boom and bust times for the industries that you're in. And when you flush, you flush. And when you out, you out. And the reason that she's struggling is because now she works for herself. And when you work for yourself, there is no safety net that comes along with it. When everything is going well, you booming. And when everything is bad, you bust. And so what I teach people on a regular basis, regardless of what industry you in, and obviously there's some specific tactics that you need to put in there and some context depending on what business that you in, is that you don't adjust your lifestyle to what it is that you make. B, everything that you make when it's going really, really well, you throw everything into eliminating the cost that's associated with your lifestyle. Why? Not just because you want to pay off the debt, but then you can start not depending on the money that you have to pay taxes on in order to maintain a lifestyle. So you can start allocating all of those resources over to what? Bag chasers. Let me know that you with me. You start allocating those resources over to what? You allocate it over into investing back into the businesses and into yourself, because you can then write it off as business expenses, lower your tax burden, and then increase your wealth. All right, let me break it back down for you. When you flush, you don't increase your lifestyle. You eliminate the debt that you then have to use the money that you're getting taxed on in order to maintain the lifestyle. So you want to first eliminate the debt. Eliminating the debt is not just eliminating the debt. Eliminating the debt is preventing yourself from having to pay taxes on the money and then maintaining a lifestyle, okay? It's very fundamental. When you go over to Miami, you have to pay taxes on your money, and then you spend the money that you pay taxes on in order to enjoy a vacation. When I go over to Miami, I'm going over there for content. I'm going over there in order to take care of business. And so what I'm doing is justifying this as a business expense. Legally, it is really a business expense because I'm going down there to shoot content. I'm going down there to meet up with the guys over there at Valuetainment, so on and so forth, right? And so I get to write it off as a business expense. You got taxed beforehand in order to go in and enjoy Miami. And now I'm in a lower tax bracket, and you still holding on to the debt because you're trying to justify a lifestyle and impress people that don't care anything about you. You then become less dependent on the circumstances that got you into that in the first place. Meaning that you no longer, roll with me here, you no longer have to worry about whether or not you can make your nut in order to maintain your lifestyle. And then you deploy all of your resources into the things that you can justify as a write-off, your businesses, self-improvement, development, continuing to expand into what it is that you're building as assets, which then feed into your net worth, that allows for you to then make money without you even having to lift a finger, right? They're going to pay me rent regardless of whether or not I'm in here, I'm in Miami, I'm over in New York for the meetup next week, so on and so forth, okay? So it's not just, I see you. It's not just living within your means, it's living significantly below your means, not having the same expenses as everybody else because your standards is much different than everybody else's now. All right, let's continue. She said the number of trucking companies, many consisting of just a single truck and a driver, meaning that most of these companies, most small businesses is just one person, one employee, and they're not necessarily generating a lot of revenue as a result of it, increased by 50%. What happens when it increases by 50%? What happens when everything goes viral and everybody is making a video and they telling you everybody to get inside of trucking? It increases competition, which then drives down rates. And also, you have to take into consideration that the market conditions are going to change because the pandemic prices is not going to be the same, and everybody is flooding the market. Increased by 50%. Everybody went and got a truck. Everybody went. So if you was a person that was selling a truck, you was going to get a bag. If you was a person that was buying a truck in order to really get into trucking, you was going to do good. You was going to do fine. You can possibly still make a decent living, but it's not going to be what you think it is because you're not taking in consideration the entire costs that come along with maintaining that truck, which is maintaining your business. If you don't have any truck in order to move that load, right? What happens when you break down? What happens when you got to go and get something fixed? What happens when your truck is out of commission for the next 2 weeks because you don't bring in any income, right? With workers lured to the industry by record pay from companies desperate to move goods and social media influencers promoting trucking as a way to get rich quick. There is no get rich quick schemes, opportunities. There are none. It does not exist. There's no such thing as getting rich quick. Throw that out of your mind. Everybody is trying to finesse. Everybody is trying to hustle. Everybody is trying to be the next big thing. And I'm a drone. No, there is no finesse when it comes to getting rich quick. It's an endurance race. It's not a sprint. As soon as consumer spending has eased over the past year, the volume of goods needing to be shipped has returned to pre-pandemic levels. So when you're planning to get into a business, all right, roll with me here. When you're planning to get into a business, you have to plan based off of what normal looks like, not based off of what everything is elevated as a current circumstance. Right now, a lot of people is getting into real estate and they saying, well, as long as the property cash flows, I'm straight. Well, what happens when the market conditions change? What happens when the interest rates rise? What happens when people have to start going back into work? What happens when people can't afford their houses and they start going bust? What happens when you go into an Airbnb business and demand is not as high as you think it is and you don't know how to adjust for market conditions? What happens when you have a significant amount of competition in that area like a Miami and there's no major event going on at that particular time? How do you adjust for that? What happens when you get a bad tenant and then you have to carry that mortgage and then have to fix the property and you don't have the money to be able to do so? What happens when you have months in which you don't have a tenant and that you're looking for a tenant and you don't have the ability to be able to carry that property? What happens then? What happens when you can't sell because the market is flooded with people that's trying to get out of a situation that they shouldn't have never been in the first place? You don't plan for normal market conditions. You don't plan for the worst market conditions. You only plan for what it is that you see happening right before you, which is why you find yourself in a difficult situation. What happened when you got to go and replace that roof? My tenant called me the other day and they said, we had to call the air conditioning guy out here and he put some Freon in it, but he was saying that it's a possibility that you might have to change out the unit. Well, the cost for me having to change out that air conditioning unit is going to range somewhere between $5,000 and $8,000. I'm cool with that. I'm prepared for that. I ain't tripping off of that. I don't have any mortgages. I don't have any mortgages at all. When I called the guy out there, he said it's just a kink in the holes. We might be able to fix the hole. So, but because I planned for the worst case scenario, it wasn't a thing for me, right? It says there's less demand for all those drivers, creating competition that has driven down shipping rates. It reminds me of sneakers, right? When everybody gets a drop, and let's say that there's a Jordan drop and there's a Travis Scott drop and so on and so forth, right? One of my strategies when it came to the sneaker company that I own was I never resold immediately after the product was dropped. I looked for specific products that I thought was going to appreciate over time. I had an amount of time that I felt like I was going to hold that product. And then around the time where it starts to be a scarcity, that's when we start moving the product. Basically, the good times have come and gone. There's a shakeout in the works right now, and it's more likely to continue going throughout this year. It says, as shipping rates is falling, a growing number of drivers have found themselves unable to keep operating, with 15,000 trucking companies shutting down their operations since October 2022, the majority being owner-operators with just one truck. They wasn't able to survive. He estimates another 2,000 carriers may have to leave the market before the supply of drivers meet the demand. Barron says she went from making $20,000 a month in profits, meaning after her expenses, so she was probably generating a lot more revenue than that, to just over $3,300 a few months later in July after fuel prices surged and demand slowed. That's a huge look. $20,000 a month. She like, yo, we rich, fam. You get a car. You get a car. So now just over $3,300 a month. You know where that puts you, especially with 3 kids, as a single mother? Behind the 8 ball, back in the poverty line. Winter is coming. $3,300 a month is not even $40,000 a year, especially after taxes. $3,300 a month. After taxes, she's making about $40,000 a year, and she over there breaking her fucking back in. There wasn't enough money to keep up with her family's expenses back home, which included $2,600 in rent, along with a $1,400 a month car loan payment for her truck. They start making the money. They say, listen, I want a G-Wagon. I want a Benz. I want a Cadillac Escalade on 22s. She had to give her truck up. What did we just have a conversation about the other day? Repos skyrocketing. Losing her $4,000 down payment and having to pay a $7,000 penalty for returning the vehicle. Everything was good, but once the pandemic slowed down, there wasn't a high demand anymore, so I couldn't make the money that I needed to make to be able to live, and then the fuel prices went up too. That's called being a business owner. This is what business owners go through. Boom and bust cycles. Learn. Fail. You're going to go through some situations that's not necessarily going to be conducive for what it is that you thought you got yourself into. Now, here's the question that I have to ask myself. Here's the questions that we asking ourselves, okay? When we think about this, let me go ahead and remove this. When we think about this, and we starting to take into consideration the conversations that we having, me as a content creator, and one of the reasons why you've never ever seen me sell a course, which is nothing wrong with selling courses, one of the reasons why you've never seen me say, hey, this is an investment opportunity, I want you to invest in this, this is where I want you to put your money, so on and so forth. The biggest thing that I do is I say, this is how I'm living my life. These are the decisions that I'm making based off of my current circumstances and how I see the industry. This is the play that I'm making. You've never, ever seen me take any money from anybody. You've never, ever seen me not pay anybody that was an employee. You've never, ever seen me ask for anything outside of you continuing to reinvest in yourself. And I am adamant about doing the thing that actually makes the most sense long term. I tell y'all, every decision I make a 10, 15, 20-year view. I've never, and I will never, ever ask anybody for $1 or a dime. If you see value in what it is that we add here, then you know what to do. You know where your tribe is. You know where your opportunities are. You know where your network is. But one of the reasons why I don't do that and why I'm adamant about being careful about my words, because we're responsible to the people that we're stewarding, is that you don't see anybody, all of these influencers that was talking all of this shit about getting these trucks and stuff. You know where they at? Silent. Silent. They have nothing to say. They not giving you a different solution as how it is that you're supposed to pivot out of it. They ain't got no more game for you. They ain't got no more picks for you. They not giving you no kind of insight information on how you can move a little bit differently. They silent. I don't see one trucking video going up except for people that's saying, yo, listen, it's hard out here for a pimp. Everybody is quiet all of a sudden that had all of these videos on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube that was talking about why it is that you need to get into trucking. All of a sudden, everybody is quiet. truck hacking. I keep telling y'all, eventually, time tells all. Time is going to reveal whether or not you are right or whether you're wrong. Time is going to show you whether or not people are adamant about the right things or they just trying to get a quick hit and a quick pitch for you, because I believe in building solid relationships long term. If you've ever had a coaching session with me, you know that I look to understand you in the first session. I don't even look to even say anything and tell you what it is that you need to do, because I need to understand what your circumstance is. What's your mindset? Do you have a longer term view? What is it that you're trying to accomplish? Where do you come from? I need to know everything there is to know about you. So many people have put other people behind the 8 ball and messed up what it is that they got going on in their lives. And they're nowhere to be found, and they're not going to take responsibility for leading you down that razor blade into that alcohol river. And over time, the real is going to be able to be separated from the fake. And guess what we doing? Still here, still growing, still pouring into people, have no complaints. Everybody is continuing to win, making adjustments, getting to the bag, taking advantage of everybody else that's suffering in a recession. When you suffer, we eat. When you suffer, we eat. All right? Let me read some of these super chats, and then I got one more thing that I want to go over with y'all really, really quickly before we get up out of here. Mr. Showtime 982 is in the building. Says, I need that consultation call with you, big dog. When will you open up your calendar back up? Very, very soon. Probably within the next. Well, I don't want to say it out loud because I'm opening up my calendar soon. So if y'all on a waiting list in order to kick it with me personally, I do have the list. We are keeping track of it. Email me at AntonDaniels413@gmail.com. I'm gonna get to you. Shout out to Showtime 982. I appreciate you, big dog. Jupiter 1000 times ice says Teslin Figaro. Teslin Figaro. Shout out to you, big dog. I appreciate you. Sky. What up, Sky? I appreciate you, Sky. Says, I'm a lady trucker. I'm doing just fine. By the way, I listen to you every day, loyal listener. It is, listen, it's some people that's still eating. It's some people that's just doing fine. The goal of that segment is to highlight that I don't want y'all to have these outsized expectations for things that people are selling y'all when they can't actually justify why it is that they're telling it to you. I want every single thing that y'all do to have a long-term perspective. And even when it comes to trucking, I did a video inside of the Patreon as far as exit strategies and how you can implement an exit strategy with regard to the industry that you're in. If y'all have not watched that, make sure y'all tap into the Patreon and watch that video. Shout out to Sky. I'll rock with you, baby girl. Shout out to my truckers out there in the streets. Razik is in the building, says, the caveat is, are they OTR, dedicated, local? What are they hauling? How long they're staying out? And the experience, very important. That's true. It's a lot of factors that go into that. So it's a lot of context. Thank you, Razik. I appreciate you. Levite Apparel is in the building. Levite says, Anton, enjoy talks like that. Got my brain to say, how? How, Sway? How, Sway? Vince Geralds says, the freight brokers are winning. I'm going to have to do some more research on that. I'm curious as to finding out whether or not the freight brokers are really running the bag up. Billanico is in the building, says, the game is the game, fail to plan or plan to fail. Shout out to Billanico is in the building. Billanico is in the building. Shout out to Billanico. Make sure y'all go over to the website, Billanico, and get your gear. We appreciate you. Ian is in the building. Ian says, can I put that 15 minutes on my next call? You can, Ian. I got you. That extra 15 minutes, you can put that on your next call. I got you, big dog. Thank you for tapping in, my friend. Also, Latrell M says, slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race. Thank you to everybody that contributed into the conversation. I want to have one more thing before I let y'all go. I know we've been cooking for a while. I know we had a phenomenal show. I know we got a great show lined up for y'all tomorrow. It's going to be even more awesome and phenomenal, and I'm going to be doing it live from the MIAO. Live from Miami. We doing a show from the MIAO from my second home tomorrow. I want to share with y'all one more thing before we get up out of here. Okay? Can I just share with y'all something really quickly? Make sure y'all hit that Teej pack. 30% off your first order plus a free gift. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God, no. This is not, no. Oh my God.
Y'all might have missed it. Let me rewind it for you. Shout out to Wade Talks. I'm going to be reading that super chat shortly. Shout out to Wade Talks. I'm going to be reading that super chat shortly. Let me rewind it for you. For those of you that missed it, pay it close attention. Pay very, very close attention.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
There is a man, a black man, at the Spirit Airlines counter in Orlando. I'm going to play it for y'all one more time. There's a black man at the Spirit Airlines counter that has a police officer in a fucking headlock. Looks like he's trying to break and snap his neck out here in these streets. I'm going to play it for you one more time. All right. I know y'all wasn't paying attention. I need you to focus. I'm going to play it for you one more time. Y'all ready? Y'all ready?
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God, no. This is not, no. Oh my God.
Now, the first thing that I noticed is the headlock. Second things I noticed is that it was over at the Spirit Airlines counter. Now, I don't think that Spirit is a bad place. I don't think that Spirit is. I heard they got some new planes, that the planes is awesome. The whole 9 yards. I'm taking a Spirit flight. I don't mind taking a short Spirit flight, right? If I was able to get it at the right price, then I would take a Spirit flight from maybe, let's say, over to Indianapolis, because it's like a 40-minute flight, or over to Cleveland from Michigan, or from Miami to Tampa. It's like a 45-minute flight or something like that. I don't have no problem with Spirit. I heard they got some good planes, especially you giving me the big seat. I take the big seat. I did a video on my other channel of what it was like to fly Spirit. We had rolled Spirit and we had flew from Tampa over to Miami. It was like a 35-minute flight or something like that. Right? The second thing I noticed is that good white man right here. Let me rewind it a little bit, getting up out the way.
No. This is not, no. Oh my God.
Why is this good white man over here getting about the fucking way? The same reason why Anton would be getting out the way. All right? Let me play the rest of the video. Look at the black people. The first thing that they do is they pull out their phones and they start to record. Pull out their phones and then they start to record. Look at the other ones. All of the people of color pull out their phones and they get closer. Don't y'all notice that things are reversing? It used to be a time where the white people was like, hey, what's going on over there, buddy? We need to see what's happening. It's a lot different now. Men are becoming women. Women are becoming men. Black people are becoming white people, and white people are becoming black people. And so now everybody is doing the opposite of what they are or what they were trained to do, because everything is upside down. So now the white people is getting the fuck out of Dodge. The black people is running over there with their camera phones and getting involved. You hear a screaming black woman, Ma'am, you're not helping the situation. All you're doing is causing more panic and chaos. More people are going to come over with their phones. Anton is going to be reviewing it on the Millionaire Morning Show, so on and so forth, right? Let's continue. Why is Anton having this conversation, y'all? Why is this necessary to end the show? Why is Anton ending this on a chokehold black person, Spirit Airlines air counter, about to go to jail, be on the no-fly list, white people running, black people running up with their phones? Why is this necessary for us to add this into the conversation? Well, A, the name of the show is called Ratchet. And then B, I'm telling you, I'm advocating for you, and I'm begging you. I'm begging my people. And when I say my people, I'm not talking about black people. I'm not talking about white people. I'm not talking about church folk. I'm not talking about the women for the streets. I'm not talking about my truck drivers. I'm talking about the people that are going in the direction that I'm going in. If you align with me mentally, if you have the same character as me, if you see things differently, if you're going to be at the Patreon meetup, and I've done what? 12, 13, 14 different Patreon meetups. It's all a vibe. It's all a vibe. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. It's all a vibe. We don't have no riffraff. We don't have no fights. We don't have no issues. We don't have no problems. And you know why? Because we've divested ourselves from the culture. We've divested ourselves from the culture. We're no longer subjecting ourselves to the people that are the worst for us. The Kiki Palmers. We're going to be checking out the Essence Festival. I heard y'all was out here fucking up the bag at the Essence Fest. We're going to be talking about that tomorrow, right? We're no longer going to subject ourselves for hanging out around people that don't have our best interests at heart. So I implore you, if you have a friend that's always riding dirty, do not get in the car with them. And as a matter of fact, ask them politely not to come over anymore. You may hurt their feelings, but I promise you, you're not going to find your house getting shot up. If your kids have friends that's ratchet as fuck, what you think your kids going to turn out like? If your homegirls is for the streets and you out here trying to get married, don't hang out with them. Because the men that you really want is going to see and meet your friends, and they going to automatically group you into the same group as them because birds of a feather flock together. Listen, if you're a hoe, because we all know who we are. You know if you ratchet, you know if you a hoe, you know if you a good girl, so on and so forth. And let's say you went and got the Holy Ghost. You tarried on your knees. Oh, Jesus. Hallelujah. Speaking in other tongues as the Spirit of God give utterance. Let's say you gave your life. Let's say you gave your life over to Jesus. Halamashante. Somebody turned to your neighbor on the left and said, Halamashante. Turn to your neighbor on the right and say, Jazz. Let's say you gave your life over to God. You gave your life over to Jesus. You want to have a different outcome that's completely separate from what it was that you've lived your life like before. You're going to have to divest yourself from the environments, the people, the circumstances, the situation, even the friends that you got on your job. You're going to have to move away from it. Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen in the chat? You're going to have to separate yourself from it. Alcoholics can't stay alcoholic free hanging around other alcoholics. You're not going to be the one that influences everybody else not to be an alcoholic by hanging around a bunch of drinkers. You're going to eventually take a sip. You not going to be the one that's not getting bust open on the girls trip when all of your friends got a nigga inside of her her hotel room. Eventually, you're going to be influenced. And it starts with a little seed that's planted, and then another seed is planted, and then another seed is planted. And the next thing you know, you don't see anything wrong. When you thought that it was wrong in order for a man to tuck his dick between his legs, now you don't see anything wrong with it, and you starting to justify it, and you saying to me, well, Anton, how come you don't see this as normal? Well, you've been infiltrated. When I seen you 5 years ago, you was adamantly against it. Now, you've been continued to be reconditioned, and they worked on you, and they worked on you, and they worked on you, and they worked on you. And so now you don't see anything wrong with it. Is it wrong for us to remove their humanity? Absolutely not. I think we should treat people like normal human beings every single day. But as far as the behavior itself, God said you can hate the sin. Pray for the sinner. But you don't even extend the prayers anymore because you don't see anything wrong with the thing that they're doing. How can you pray for somebody to change a behavior that you don't actually see as a sin anymore? You slowly stop reading your Bible. You don't go to church anymore. It's a video that I wanted to break down. I don't know if I will be able to break it down or not. It's a video that I want to break down that speaks specifically to the idea that men no longer go to church. And slowly but surely you start to remove all of the things that prevented you from embracing who it is that you truly are, and now you've become somebody completely different. If you immerse yourself in any environment, you then are going to become that. If you spend enough time around people that are high movers and shakers, which is one of the reasons why they say you don't want to be the smartest person in your own room, why you got to get out of your own hood, why you need to travel the world, why you need to see different things. If you spend enough time around people that don't add enough value into your life, you know what's going to happen? You're going to become one of them. Miguel don't know what the fuck he talking about. He over in the chat talking shit. Luckily for Miguel that's right there in the chat, I don't want to bring him to the front of the congregation. You know why? Because it was a great show and we at the end of the show. If this was the middle of the show, I would bring Miguel to the front of the congregation. He has no idea what I do. This is what's wrong with you niggas that's trying to count other people's money. This is how the church and these preachers then guilt you into giving money into the collection plate, because then they start telling you what the fuck you supposed to do with your money. Miguel, I think you a nice person. I'm going to let you slide on that one. I know you made a mistake. You didn't think I was going to see the chat. You don't want me to bring you to the front of the congregation. I'm trying to be able to communicate with my people and help them to understand that they need to divest themselves against this dumb-ass culture that's not helping them become better persons, not helping them to become better people, not helping them to become better individuals, not helping them to become better sons and daughters and wives and husbands. Oh, you're not talking about me. You're talking about the culture. Okay, I got you. Thank you for clearing that up, Miguel. Thank you for clearing that up. The point that I'm making to you guys is that I want you guys to stay focused. Keep the main thing, like my girl Tez says. And more importantly, when you get off of this live stream, and one of the reasons that I moved it from late night into the early morning, at least a couple years ago now, is because I wanted to help you get your day started off right so that I can hopefully influence you and have a larger impact over your life over a longer period of time, which is one of the reasons why you need to be tapping into the Millionaire Morning Show every single day, and you need to be tapping into the Patreon every single day. I want to be the influence and then influence you to stop running in the victim Olympics, stop running in the oppression Olympics, and stop surrounding yourself with the people that's not helping you grow. Find your tribe. Make sure you tap into the Discord that's inside of the Patreon. A link to it is in any of the most recent videos inside of the Patreon. All right? Make sure y'all tune into the Anton Daniels Show tonight. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Let me read a few more super chats before we get up out of here. Wade Talks says, have you heard about tech sales? And if so, what do you think? I do like tech sales. I think that I have a lot of friends that make a decent amount of money. I actually just coached a guy that moved away from trucking into tech sales, and he's doing significantly well. I like sales in general. I think that if you have an opportunity to get into tech sales, you should do so. But you have to have thick skin. You got to be a person that's willing to network. You got to spend longer hours in order to get to that bag, and it's not a position that you can just play with. You have to meet standards, quotas, and in order for you to make a decent amount of money, you're gonna have to show the fuck up. You can't just waddle your way through it like it's a call center. But I do like tech sales, and I think it teaches you a lot. Shout out to Steven. Slayer1 says, Spirit Airlines is the new soul plane. Why do y'all be dissing Spirit so much? I don't think it's anything wrong with Spirit. I think Spirit is just a plane. I think that it's just certain people that's looking to get the cheapest flights that sometimes appear on the plane depending on where you're going. Y'all be dissing Spirit. I ain't tripping off of Spirit. Also, let me give a shout out to Tato Mills. Says, stop depending on people and depend on people. As a result of it, I hope that don't go over y'all heads. Love y'all, the Chasers. Shout out to all of the Patreon members and the Bag Chasers. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the show. We didn't get our stream cut off today, so we did well, right? Right? Listen. Again, focus. Make sure that you hit a like for the YouTube algorithm if you have not already on your way out. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I need y'all to do me one more favor before we get up out of here. You know what I'm about to say. You already know what I'm about to say. Make sure you share this with your friends and family. We don't want to be rich by ourselves. I love you guys. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are my heart. Let's get it, man. Let's get it. Make sure y'all tune into the premiere tonight. Y'all gonna enjoy it. I love y'all. I'm gonna talk to y'all later. Peace. And yes, messy mathematician, I did notice your new pic. You are beautiful, my love. See, you thought I wasn't paying attention. Aw, you so gorgeous. You so pretty. Shout out to my girl, messy mathematician. I'm gonna have to meet you one day. You so dope.